see you. Do you mind coming to see me for one sec? Step on in here. Step on in here. We're streaming this. Thank you. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Good. Keeping busy. Out in Indian Wells, California, and family's been out there before, and it's warm and dry, and keeping my height up.
Oh, well, that's okay. I loved what you said out there about throw it low, you're good to go, throw it high, you let it fly. I want to dive into that presentation that you just made out there, and Jade earning that award, and you said, give me something interesting. It's been so interesting to see. I, like you, have a whole bunch of daughters as well and stepdaughters. How much does it mean not only to be a guy who represents the Gold Glove as a first baseman, but now represents giving this award out?
Well, it's so unique because finally, because the evolution of softball, that Rawlings decided, wait a minute, there are women out there who deserve Gold Gloves. And they started, like I said, 3 years ago to present the award. And it'll probably expand in the future. But each year there's one woman that sticks out. And for me, like I said before, with 5 daughters and a wonderful wife and a female dog and assistant, I'm just here to serve. And but tonight to serve this wonderful dinner by being able to present that award is the ultimate honor.
Do you remember your first glove, your first game of catch, things that take you well back before Michigan State and the Dodgers? You remember putting a glove on your hand and thinking, I think I like this?
Oh, absolutely. It was back when gloves were expensive at $9.95, and it was a Rawlings glove. It didn't have much of a pocket in it. It was pretty stiff, and Dad and I would play catch, and I lost my first tooth on a grounder that popped up on our St. Augustine grass in the front yard. But that was the beginning. And I was a Gold Glove guy, four times in a Rawlings glove. So I've always thought this honor was very special, and this dinner is special.
There's interesting, too, the early stages of your career, the move from third to first, a transition that not all could do. You did it well, you did it quickly, it was the right fit. After 72, by 74, you were winning that Gold Glove. How much more comfort did you find when you moved over to that first base bag, which is a really tough position?
Yeah, well, I was a football player at Michigan State and got a slight shoulder separation in the spring of 1967 and didn't quite throw the same.
Right.
So got drafted by the Dodgers in the first round by basically hitting, but could get to every ball and field it. And then all of a sudden got to the majors, guy without a position. June 23rd, 1973, Walter Alston comes by my locker in between games of a doubleheader, and I'd been pitch hitting. And he said, you ever play first? I said, oh, yeah, sure. One game in Little League, one game in AAA. And he said, well, grab a glove and get out there tonight. Don't trip over the bag, get some hits, and we're having trouble against lefties. Didn't trip over the bag. Doug went out of the dirt in the first inning, came off the bag, made the tag in about the fifth, got 2 doubles. And that was the beginning of my career, 15 years at first. But the beginning of the infield of, say, Russell Lopes and myself that lasted for 8.5 years. So.
I'd be making a mistake, and I'll let you go after this, with the dads that are looking on, the moms that are looking on, and the young athletes. Any tip you would have for someone who wants to play your position at first, whether it's footwork, something they could do in their garage, any tips you would have for a young future first Steve Garvey?
Well, I think footwork. Balance is the key to any great athlete, but especially first base. The ability to put both heels, right up against the bag, to shift and to cross over, to stay balanced, to be able to get down low. I used to step on the bag for the high throws and gain 2 or 3 inches.
Nice.
But to work on the balls in the dirt, there's a way. I try to backhand as many as possible. It's easier. But first base is also a great social position. Anybody that gets there usually is in pretty good spirits, And I'd be talking to them once in a while. I'd distract them and pick them off. But now, would I ever do that? Not really. But it's a position that's very interactive. It's very active. That's why we've got children that are ADHD. And I always say it's better for them to play an interior engaging position because it keeps you into the game.
Right.
And to play outfield, you can get lost in anything. So I'm just saying this is a dad who's gone through the challenges,
asked,
right?
yeah.
And for me, I was called hyper at the time, and maybe I had a little ADHD, but eventually the skills of being able to catch a ball, God-given eye-hand coordination paid off.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Great to see you again.
Good to see you as
Thanks.
well. We'll see if we can find your recipient. Did they bring back our recipient? Do we know? Did she come back here? All right, we'll stay hot. I'm fine with staying hot. So what we're going to do, Jade's on her way back here, what we're going to do at about 9:50 Eastern, we'll go live, and every Gold Glove winner, join us on Rawlings Facebook. Every Gold Glove winner, every award giver, like Steve Garvey, will come back here. We'll have good conversation. And as I talked about, we'll take you behind the scenes with they and their teammates, and we'll also get a tip. Jade, come on in here. Jade, I'm Darren Sutton. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What an honor for the third year for me to be here and to be a part of it. But to see you out there, to receive that standing ovation as an outstanding first baseman, you didn't find out tonight, you found out earlier. How much does it mean to be a Gold Glove winner?
It's an honor. You know, I'm blessed to have the opportunity, to play in the NPF. Not everyone can say they play pro fast pitch softball, so it's just an honor. You know, we only get one in the league, so it's not like, we get 9 of them, but it's just an honor to be able to explore and just be myself on the field.
Yeah, you're a cool rep, and Sherry Kempf, I believe, right? Your commissioner. What a job she has done. You've got to be excited about the future. You, as an ambassador for the NPF, explain for those who are casually looking in, maybe they're just Diamond Sport baseball fans, what the NPF is now and what you hope that can be in the future.
Now, I mean, as you know, we want it to grow. We want more teams to be in the NPF. We want, more competition. And yes, there's girls getting drafted from college, but we only know. There's some people that do know about the NPF, but we want it to grow. We want it to get bigger. We want it to be like the MLB, where we can have thousands, millions of people watching on TV and cheering for us and being able to pick that team. Even though we have a championship series, it's pretty much like the World Series for us at the end, but we want thousands of people to pick who's going to win that series.
You had an interesting year, too, with your team, a diverse team, certainly players, not all of them from the United States. You guys didn't win like you wanted to. But as you said in many articles I read and listened to you talk about, they turned me loose. They let me play every day. They wanted me to be a leader a little bit. You're an Auburn alum. We'll touch on that. But what was this year like in Cleveland?
It was an experience for me. Going into the summer, I was more of having an experience instead of playing. Yes, I want to go out there and play and perform and do what I can for my team, but just getting the experience from them and getting to learn their culture and learn their language, and they learn ours. There's only 5 of Americans on the field, right. So getting to play with, they're from Beijing, so I mean, the language barrier is a little tough, but getting to practice with them in the spring training and learning their language, it becomes easier, but they're still my best friends to this day. So
what a cool experience. I stood here last year with Chelsea Goodacre, the year before with A.J. Andrews. For young softball players, I'm going to lean on you for a little bit of advice, because your first year at Auburn didn't go the way you wanted, right? Batting average below 100. But by the end, you're playing all-American caliber softball. You're doing amazing things at first base. You're putting up huge stats. How did you make it through that first year? How did you commit to grow? And you understand where I'm going with this. There's young athletes right there that might be wanting to give up. How did you keep pushing through to become an elite player?
Well, one, my family. Just my mom helped me through everything. She always was positive, telling me to stay in it, don't give up.
Carrie, right?
Yes, Carrie. And my brother, Trey, he's my other half, so he's awesome. And he's just like, Jade, you never know where it's going to take you. If you give up now, you don't know where you're going to be. I said, you're right. So me staying there through my freshman year and having the new coach come in, he let me be who I was. He let me be that player on the field and be that person to just find the grit and the grind with my team and have them be my team. As I became a senior, that's my team. I'm a senior, I'm a captain. I expect them to follow me, and me being one of 10 seniors, we all had leaders. There was different leadership, but you could have those 2 captains where you really got behind them, and we took them to the World Series.
Super cool story what you pulled off. It's amazing. Congratulations on the Gold Glove. I'll let you go after you give one tip, any sort of fielding tip, to a young first baseman who plays somewhere softball, who wants to be you and stand here someday. I don't care what the tip is. It can be something they can do at home. It can be something they can do with a teammate, with their parents. You give me one tip to be a great first baseman.
Honestly, to be a great first baseman, to be a great fielder, is trust your glove. If you don't trust your glove...
What does that mean?
So just not so much trusting yourself, but trusting your process. Trusting that you've practiced enough to be able to go out in a game and field whatever balls come to you. Yeah, there is balls this summer that were rocketed at me, but I've trusted my glove to be behind my face and me to be in the perfect fielding position where I knew that I was going to catch the ball. So just trust your glove.
Thank you very much. Go have fun at the party.
Thank you very much.
We'll be here live. We'll be here live at 9:50, and once we go live, we don't stop. This was an honor to be a part of this with Jade and Steve Garvey, and throughout the evening at this Gold Glove gathering with the best defenders in the world out there in the room on the other side, warming the stage up for Billy Crystal. We're going to learn how they do it. We're going to understand their family backgrounds, their future goals, things they look forward to. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So again, about 10 minutes till 10 o'clock Eastern, 9:50. Join us Facebook Live.